My name's Peter. I'm with Pawrade. I work with customers and puppy parents. I work with breeders. I do a lot of behind the scenes work, and I get the pleasure of hosting these calls. So please join in the chat, list some questions. And I just wanted to introduce Janelle and Marion. They are our breeders here. They're located in Indiana. They're a fantastic breeder. They've worked with us for quite a while. Janelle, Marion, whoever wants to speak, can you tell us a little bit about your years of experience and why you guys love the Shih Tzu so much?
So I work with Marion, and I'm his administrative assistant, and I work with the puppies every week. And so they've been breeding for 8 years, since 2017. They do have their canine care certificate, which is something big here in Indiana that they push. And so they worked really hard to obtain that, and they get that by making sure they maintain cleanliness and vetting all of their adults, making sure all of their puppies are healthy, and making sure that the utmost care is taken of all of the dogs in their care.
Wonderful, yes. And for those of you wondering how we partner with breeders, as Pawrade, those are the types of things we're looking into. We're getting lots of vet recommendations or the vets that they work with. We're doing our due diligence, the background check, looking at their credentials, making sure they're reputable. And so again, we're just so happy and proud to have Marion and Janelle into our breeder program. So let's take a quick little look at these puppies. It looks like you might be standing. I don't know if you'd be able to maybe pick one up or get down in the playpen a little bit, maybe get a close up of some of those cute faces. I know they all look alike, but if you can if you can do your best to name them or just let us know which ones are boys and girls, and talk about their color a little bit, talk about their sizes and maybe their expected sizes. That'd be a good place to start. I know I threw a lot at you.
That's okay. So mom weighs 12 pounds and dad weighs 14 pounds. So we expect them to be somewhere between that 12 and 14-pound range. Some of them will be a little bit more close to the 12, some more close to the 14, just depending. This is Charlotte here. She's the only girl in the litter. All the rest are boys. And then I'm going to get her little face for you. Her brother's going to get in the mix here. And that is Christopher. This is Christopher. And then this is Chase. Let's see here. Come here, guys. I had to plug my phone in because, of course, it's starting to die before I get on. So let's fix that. Guys. This is Cooper. He's the lightest colored one with more of a golden look to him. So he'd be like a golden white. And I think I did Christopher already. Let's see. And you are Charles. I would say, is one of the smaller ones of the litter.
Okay.
Cooper is one of the big.
Wonderful. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Cooper's one of the bigger ones. And then I would say Christopher is probably one of the bigger ones out of the two, or the group of them.
Okay, good to know. I'll make sure I send that here in the chat. Just so everyone knows, we have this litter listed on our website under the Shih Tzus. Their names all start with C. That's what we've nicknamed them. You're welcome to change their name if you were to get one and felt a different name was fitting. But they're Christopher, Charlotte, Cooper, Chase, and Charles. Very easy to recognize on our website. They're absolutely adorable. Love it. So they're 7 weeks old, and I wanted to ask you, we do have the available date as January 25th. Are you guys waiting a couple extra weeks before they can go to the new homes?
Yes, we are going to keep them. We're planning for 10 weeks. Some of them are not getting their teeth in as fast as we would like. And so we just want to make sure before we let them go to their new homes that they have their teeth in and that they're eating well. And all of that they're growing good. Some of them barely, like he's got just the start of his teeth coming in. So we want to make sure that we just want to feeling that by in another week that their teeth were going to be in good enough that they're eating the hard food really well. So we just want to make sure that we monitor that and, you know, before they go to their new homes.
Yeah,
So we
of
need them
course.
listed at 10 weeks to leave.
Yes, and that's pretty common, especially with those smaller and toy breeds. Making sure that they're the appropriate weight, they've had the age appropriate shots and vaccinations, making sure they're transitioning to, the dry food as well. So we're happy that you guys take that all into consideration. So these puppies will be available around 10 weeks old. They're located in Indiana. They are eligible for a pickup if you're able to travel there, or maybe you live in Indiana and want to make a trip out of it. We also have some wonderful delivery options through some premier carriers. So whether that's through ground transportation or things like that, we can certainly make it happen with nationwide delivery. So can you talk to us a little bit, Janelle, about some of the socialization? Clearly, they're well socialized around each other. They get a lot of sibling time. Do you guys do anything else in terms of toys, going outside? Are they around other animals? Anything you can think of that you can share?
So from day one, they get to play with children. There's 3 kids, so they get well loved on by children, so they love children. All of the puppies get put into a large playpen a few times a day with different various toys. There's a tunnel in there that they get to play in. There's like a little kids toy that has like a little slide that they climb up and slide down. So there's a lot of various things that they do. They get to crunch. They'll give them water bottles to crunch on, which they seem to really like that sound. They do get to go outside, but not for very long here in Indiana, as it's like in the 20s with some snow on the ground. So we don't want anybody to get sick when they're this little. We usually don't start really teaching them doggy door stuff until about that 8-week mark. Right now, we keep them in where it's warm and they have an area to go potty on.
Sure. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I'm actually in Michigan. I'm kind of right next door to you guys. And
Okay.
it's like, yeah, it feels like it's 10 degrees out, and I think we're getting some more snow. So got to keep the puppies safe from all that.
Yes.
Great. Now you mentioned that there's 3 kids. Can you give us kind of the age range in case we do have some families that are joining in tonight and have some younger or older kids?
1, 4, and 7.
Okay, perfect.
1-year-old, 4-year-old, and a 7-year-old.
Yeah, so you got a little baby in the house and some toddlers and perfect. So if you are a family looking for a smaller breed, we talked about this litter. The parents are 12 pounds and 14 pounds. So they're going to be tracking to be right around that size. Are they pretty good family dogs? I mean, would you recommend a family to consider a Shih Tzu, maybe if they've never had a dog or a puppy before?
Absolutely. As you can see, they're super friendly. Cooper here is probably the most outgoing and playful, as he's been playing with me the entire video and doesn't let anybody else in on the fun. So yes, I would say they are playful. They can be, if they kind of adjust to their environment. So if you want them to be more of a lap dog and it's maybe an older couple that's purchasing a Shih Tzu, they're great for that. And then they adapt to life with children or a more fast-paced life. They're easily adaptable, especially at this age. They learn pretty quick what life is like and what a routine is. And yeah, I
Sure.
think they adjust well. They're very low shedding, if no shedding. They do require some grooming, so it's a breed that you would want to consider that you do have to keep up on grooming, like around their eyes, their hair gets long, and you want to make sure that you keep that groomed, and their paw pads, keep those groomed as well.
Yes. Yeah, that's a great point. And they have, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's more that they have hair versus fur. Is that right?
Yeah, it's like a finer hair. It doesn't, I'm a, it'll mat in certain areas if you don't keep them brushed. A lot of people that own Shih Tzus will keep their coat more, like they'll have a groomer trim them a little bit shorter just to be easily managed, unless you're somebody that has a lot of time to, brush them daily or every other day. a groomer can help out with that as far as what care that goes into them. But their hair is much more fine. It's not like a thick fur, but it's fluffy.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And I wanted to bring up something else you mentioned, kind of them being versatile and being able to adapt. I know in my own life, I've seen them at the airports, I've seen them at parks. I've seen the people walking around with them at the mall and the grocery mart. So you can certainly bring them anywhere. I'm sure early socialization and some training will go into that, but they can do well in public. But I've also known people to, get a Shih Tzu just to be a homebody and a home companion, and to be, that source of joy and cuddles inside the home. So really depending what you're looking for, as Janelle mentioned, they're smart and they will catch on quick to what life is going to be like you. Absolutely. So that's great
Little
about this. So
Charlotte here fell asleep. He's done playing.
I can feel Charlotte's mood right now.
I can too. It's nearing 7 o'clock here, which is like a bedtime for everybody. So
Yes.
they're
Yes. We,
used to
we
that
had
routine.
yes, good, good. It's important to have them on a routine. Otherwise, they can go a little crazy. We did have someone asking if they've been around cats. And again, they're only 7 weeks old. I know around that younger age, you have to be kind of weary of germs and exposing them to too much. But I thought I would ask, do they get any sort of exposure to cats or other animals yet?
They do not. We try to keep what's coming in, going in and out, very minimal as far as we don't want them exposed to a bunch of different things right now because they're just little. And once they hit that 8 week mark, we start opening up a little bit more. But a cat is not something we have. But I have personally purchased a puppy from Marion, and we have a cat at our house. And so she has adjusted well to the cat. Her and the cat are best friends. I don't think that that's an issue if you get a puppy at this age and you introduce them to the cat and they learn the cat's boundaries. They will again adjust very well and quickly.
Sure. Yep. I think that's perfect feedback. It's good to know that you've actually had the experience of getting a puppy from the breeder, Marion, and introducing them to your cat, and it's all gone well. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. Okay. Now, you talked a little bit about routine. I know everyone's going to have a different schedule, a different routine, but I wanted to ask, is a Shih Tzu a dog that can be independent by itself in the home, maybe for a couple hours or during the day if you have to go shopping on a weekend or something like that, or maybe if you're working outside the home? Can they be independent, but then also are they, um, do they also like to stay by your side, or are they too independent where they like to do their own thing? Kind of a long question, but hopefully you can answer that for us.
It is a long question, but as before, I think they're an adaptable dog. And if you set that routine early on, like, so you work 8 to 5 and you leave at 7:30 and you put that into a routine at the very beginning, they're going to adapt to that. They're going to get used to that schedule. And if you're home all the time, they're going to get used to you being home all the time. So when you do leave, they may get a little stressed, but they'll adjust to the fact that you're leaving. I always tell people when they're looking at puppies to make sure to get them used to everything. You're their parent and you're to prepare them for things that may happen. So I always suggest crate training, because when your dog goes to the groomer, or your dog may need to go to the vet, or you go to the hospital and your dog has to be cared for by somebody else, they're already used to a crate. They're not going to be traumatized by learning how to use a crate and learning to be in a different environment. If you prepare them as they're little at this age, starting them in a crate, they're just going to be used to it. So if they're ever presented with that in life, then they're used to it. It's not traumatizing. If you wait until they're a year old and then you're sticking them in a crate and trying to do a completely different routine with them, clearly they're probably, they're going to have an adjustment, as would anybody.
Yes. No, you're absolutely right. I am a fan of crate training. Make it comfortable with, some bedding, some comfortable sheets or blankets, things like that. give them their own little space, and then you could even go to sleep a little bit more with peace of mind that they're not getting into any mischief while
Yes.
you're sleeping. So especially at those puppy stages, I think it's good to introduce to, with the crate. Is that something you guys do? I know you're bringing them to the vets, and I'm sure they've been around some crates. Is that something you do even like when they're sleeping overnight? What's your approach to all that with the crate?
Oftentimes we do it more if people are asking specifically if their puppy can be crate trained. I do know that when a puppy is sold and they're getting ready to ship, as far as we find out their shipping date, Marion does start putting them in a kennel to prepare them for, ground transport. Sometimes they'll be put in a crate. If they fly, they're going to be put in a crate, or like a carrier underneath the plane seat. So we try to prepare them for when they leave us as much as we can.
Perfect. Yeah, that's so good to know. I know you guys do a lot of extra things, especially if a puppy's been paid for and reserved. You just have an open ear to whatever that new puppy parent requests. You guys do such a great job. Yeah, they're just absolutely adorable. I know you talked a little bit about the parent weights, a little bit about their personality. I just wanted to remind everyone we do have a chat room. I'm keeping my eyes on that chat as we go along. So if you have some questions that we haven't answered yet, or maybe you joined in a little late and need us to repeat something, we're happy to do that. So use that chat room. Janelle and Marion, they're located in Indiana. We do have nationwide delivery available. We can also help schedule and arrange a local pickup. So if you wanted to travel there, or maybe you're already local, we can help arrange that. They have a great background, and they've been with us for quite a while. They passed all of our criteria way back when, and they've just been phenomenal to work with. Can you maybe pick up one? Doesn't really matter. I would love to show off, again, a little close-up of a face,
Yeah.
even for myself.
So
They're just so cute.
this is Cooper. He's been the one that's all up in my business, this whole video chat. He does not want to let anybody else in on it. He is the lightest puppy of the whole litter. And I would say he's probably the largest of the litter.
Okay, great. So everyone that's listening in,
And
Cooper
this is Charles.
is okay.
His little eyes are so hard to see because his little markings are so dark. And then Charlotte is still here asleep. I've tried to wake her up a few times and she does not want to participate. And this is Christopher.
Oh, so cute. Wish I could be there in
The kids are
person.
running around behind me, so they're starting to keep an eye out on the kids. And then this is Chase.
Oh gosh.
Oh, now we're having
Too cute.
they're starting to all huddle up and say it's bedtime.
Couple more minutes, puppies. Couple more minutes. You're the stars of our show. We can't let you go anywhere.
Yeah, we can't let you go yet.
So we had a great question. Asking about kind of the vocalness in terms of do they bark, things like that. They're super well behaved clearly right now. They're a little quiet. Do they kind of carry this personality into adulthood, or do they get a little bit more barky as adults?
I would say it's dependent on the puppy itself. Some of the Shih Tzus that we've had are barky and some are not. It just depends on each particular dog. Again, back to that socialization when they're little and that training when they're young. If you start to correct the barking from the get-go, if that's something you notice that they do, then hopefully you can curb that. But it just kind of depends on each puppy.
Sure. Yeah, I totally agree. And I've done a lot of these Pawrade lives with different breeders. And really, no matter what the breed, that seems to be the common answer is it really just depends. I mean, I have a larger dog myself. And I actually like that she barks a little bit. That's how I know my Amazon packages are here. When someone's at the door, she's kind of my own little alarm system. So I like it, but I know some people, you either have maybe a neighbor in your apartment that gets on your case for noise, things like that. Those are just good opportunities to train and, like you said, curve that behavior to make sure they're obedient to the lifestyle and to your expectations. So I appreciate that feedback. And now all these puppies are AKC registered. Both mom and dad are AKC with great bloodlines. So I wanted to point that out. They're purebred. They have been vet checked. I don't know if they've gotten any shots yet. We don't have to go into too
Oh
much
yeah.
detail, but have they at least gotten one round?
Yes. Yeah, they've had one round of shots.
Okay. So they've had their first round. Every puppy will have its age appropriate shots by the time it's being picked up for a delivery to you. And you'll have all those vet records as well. We provide you with all the documentation. And a thing that we love to bring up is right before they leave or get picked up, they'll actually have a very specific head to tail exam done by a state licensed vet. So no matter where they are at in their vet schedule, they will be enforced to go see the vet one more time, just to make sure everything from nose to tail is in tip-top shape for you guys. So you'll have all of that. We do also include a 3-year health guarantee. That's important to a lot of people. We want to make sure that you're not just getting a puppy through our process, but you're getting the protection, the security, and the peace of mind that you have people that care about you and your puppy, and that you have the full support through this adoption process. So hopefully that covers some parts of the logistics and the process. In Indiana, they're in like kind of the northern part. We don't give their exact address, just as the representatives of them and their marketing here on our platform. So we actually facilitate everything. The reason we facilitate the adoption process is because there's so many scams out there. People think they're talking directly to the breeder, and really it's just a scam, and they're losing hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars. So our process is there to give you that full scam protection. I think it's priceless to be able to have that and know that you're talking to a real person, a real team, and you're getting the puppy that you pay for. So again, they're kind of in the northern part of Indiana. If you go through our process and talk to one of our concierge members and you want to do a local pickup, we'll get you some more specific information and help arrange everything between you, Janelle, and Marion.
Yep.
Long answer. Hopefully I'm not talking too fast for everyone. Just want to make sure I'm getting all the info in while we have the time. They're so cute. And, it's kind of hard to see in some of the pictures on our website, just the difference in colors and patterns, but I really enjoy being able to see some of the differences now. It's a great, again, kind of sneak peek. I wanted to ask though, do those colors change at all? Do maybe they get darker in some of them or lighter? What can people expect with this litter?
So each individual. I've seen Shih Tzus that are fully grown that are still his dark color. I've also seen Shih Tzus that are this color and they fade out lighter. Oftentimes I'll try to look at the root of where the hair is, and that'll kind of give an indication of what the adult color will look like. But they often do fade down a little bit and they get a more lighter color and closer to like an off. Like this is the white will stay, but this will change a little bit. I don't know if you can see that lighter golden tan look in there when I get closer to the root.
Yes.
But sometimes they stay, like I've seen them stay darker and sometimes they get lighter. That's something that we can't predict. The parents are a little
Sure.
bit lighter, and they can see that in the photos of the parents.
Okay, great. Yeah, I love the darker kind of black and brown mix. I also love that lighter brown. Is the lighter brown, is that what you call the liver color?
Yeah, so well now he wants to sleep. So this would be like a golden and white or a golden white. And then these are more like that liver and white. Um yeah, they're a little bit darker. They have such a big, broad range of colors in their hair right now. This one, he- yeah. And then even their faces are even a different shade.
Yes, great. While we have you for about 5 more minutes, I wanted to ask for all of our guests tonight, do you guys do any sort of introduction to some potty training, leash training, anything like that that's worthwhile to mention?
We do introduce them to a doggy door, which they have access to now, but they don't really utilize it yet, as you know, it's super cold outside and they have to learn to open that. So they do have access to start learning to open that. We usually push it a little bit more at that 8 week mark. We don't put a lot of pressure on our puppies until 8 weeks, except playtime and sleeping and eating.
Sure. Yeah, and I know with, the smaller breeds like this, I've heard some breeders recommend more of a body harness versus like a neck collar, just because they're easy to control, since they're not too big and they're not pulling you anywhere, and that'll reduce some stress on the neck. So, when you're getting to that point of introducing the harness and the leash, again, that's just a good opportunity to bond, and to do some training. And there's some, really affordable classes out there through PetSmart or Petco, or even find, a personal trainer for you and your dog. There's also lots of apps out there these days that we recommend. We actually have a great blog about some apps out there for pet owners. So certainly take a look at that if you guys want some extra resources. We're
I
happy
know
to
there's
help
a
with those
lot of
types of things.
I know there's a lot of reputable like trainers that have YouTube videos as well. You just have to kind of find one that maybe works. Not every trainer works for every dog and owner pair. So if something's not working, find another trainer. There are other trainers out there that'll fit your needs and your dog's needs.
Yes, that's a great point. YouTube is so valuable, as well as on other social media platforms and things like that. Um, I always recommend people to at least try it, see how far you can get, and if you're struggling, maybe that's when you can bring a third party into the mix and learn from them. Oh, they are so cute. Are they sleeping through the night pretty well?
Yeah, I would say they're used to that routine. They probably get up and move around a little bit, but they're, as you can see, this is their bedtime. So they're all ready to cuddle up and sleep for the night.
Yeah, and they're running kind of all over, but now they're all in their little pack, getting each other's
Yep.
body warmth. So cute. Just as
And
a
then,
reminder, everyone, we have about a minute or two left before it's time to kiss these puppies goodnight. If you do want to post any last questions in the chat, feel free to. I got my eyes on the chat. I think we've covered pretty much all the information, so I don't want to talk too much or too loud and ruin their sleep, but I'll give everyone kind of the last minute to just be in awe of those cute little faces. We did have someone asking about how long their hair gets. I'll at least mention, it is hair, not fur, so it'll kind of continue to grow like humans' hair, probably where it reaches some dead ends. But Janelle mentioned earlier in the call, it's important to, keep them groomed. Janelle, I don't know if you have a recommendation for how often they should be groomed to make sure the hair is staying out of their eyes and their nose and things like that.
I have a cockapoo and I get her groomed or I groom her about every 6 weeks. Some hair may grow a little faster, some a little slower. I often trim around her eyes more frequently than that because I don't like hair in their eyes. So we've started already introducing them to that, and we actually trim around their eyes. So each dog's hair may grow a little bit faster, a little bit slower. That's something you can learn about your puppy as they grow. But I would say generally about every 6 weeks.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's kind of a good protocol. And like you said, I know some of the AKC standard of how a Shih Tzu looks, they let that hair grow really long. Um, Some people like that, some people don't, but certainly keeping it out of their hairs, out of their nose, because their hair might get a little bit of dirt from the outside, and the last thing you want is germs in the dirt getting into their eyes, getting into their respiratory systems. It's just a good way to make sure they're healthy and clean. Definitely keeping that longer hair out of the face. So great, that's good input. Really quickly, I'm just going to keep you from one extra minute. Can you remind us how many males? I know there's one female, but how many males are in the litter?
5.
Perfect. Okay.
There's 5 available and then 1 female, which this is Charlotte here. She's been sleeping the longest. And she was the one that I showed you her little face sleeping here. They're all trying to get, hi, buddy. This is Cooper. He's the most playful, I think, out of everybody. Oh, he took his power nap. He's ready to play more.
Yeah, that was short and sweet.
Yeah, this is Chase.
So cute.
And Christopher, our little peek. Hi, buddy. And then
All
this
right.
is Charles. And that's all.
Yeah, and just as a reminder for everyone, these are the nicknames that we've given them. Guys are more than welcome to change their names if you, have a different name in mind when you get them. They are still young enough and they're certainly smart enough to pick up on a new name. So just wanted to mention that. Great. Well, Janelle, thank you so much for your time tonight. These puppies are beyond words. So well behaved. You guys have such a great program over there, and we're so happy to give you a chance to showcase them tonight. They were on their best behavior, so thank them for us.
They were.
Great. All right, well, I will let you go. And I'm going to stay on the call for a couple minutes just to make sure I'm taking a look at the chat for the last few questions. But Janelle, it was nice to talk to you again. Thank you so much for everything. Happy New Year and good night, puppies. We love you.
Good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, thanks everyone. I'm going to stay on the call for about a minute or two. I saw some questions trickling in that we had already covered. So since we were at the end of the call, I didn't want to keep Janelle any longer. The puppies are in Indiana. They're kind of in the northern part of Indiana. They are eligible for local pickups. They're eligible for nationwide delivery. We have a couple different options with a couple different transporters that we've worked with for a while and trust 110%. So if you are interested, I've posted the litter link in the Zoom chat. If you're viewing us on Instagram or Facebook, you're just going to have to go to our Shih Tzu page and look for those puppies named Christopher, Charlotte, Cooper, Chase, and Charles. They kind of all have that CH nickname to keep it simple, and you'll recognize their faces. They're almost ready to go. They're 7 weeks old. You'll see all that information on our website on their profile pages. Really, the general questions that you're going to be asking about what they're fed, how big they're expected to be, what their personalities are. That information's all going to be on the website, on the puppies' profile pages. We put as much out there as possible, and this is just an opportunity to show, some transparency, have a little fun after everyone gets home from work, and show some really cute puppies from some of our reputable breeders. So we're happy to do these types of things. Let me see if there's anything that I missed. I think I covered just about everything. I appreciate everyone participating. Looks like we have a couple more people joining. If you just joined the call, I saw a couple people trickling in. I just ended the call with the breeder. I was just here answering some more questions, but you can take a look at the chat and you'll see the link to the litter of puppies that we posted. We'll be posting the recorded call on our YouTube page tomorrow as well. We have a lot of information on our YouTube page. If you guys want to look at some deliveries, I've actually done some deliveries and flown with puppies across the US. So you'll see my face a little bit more. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but I'm there with puppies in hand and just capturing some awesome customer moments and testimonials We have some other customer testimonials, more Pawrade lives that are recorded, breeder interviews, just to give you an inside look at what our process is like, the value we bring to pet seekers, puppy owners, breeders, all alike. So at that point, yeah, I think I've covered it. I don't see any more questions coming in. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to be ending the call. Happy New Year from Pawrade, and we hope to hear from you tonight or even tomorrow about getting one of these cute Shih Tzu puppies. Thank you.